On our last video, we got these 10 bales of hay behind me. But wait, they're over here now. Hold on. Let's go back to the very beginning of this story. Our property has these buildings, which, as far as I know, were originally built as car garages. When we bought the property, full of junk, buildings are overgrown. They need a lot of work in order to get them usable. I've been slowly working on emptying out this one over here. We have a trash pickup and we put like one bag of trash in this can every week. So I've just been trying to every week come out here when it's time to take the trash out, fill up the can with some junk. I have also hauled out one load on the trailer of recycling. So here's what's left. There's not that much remaining in these two bays. This is the back two bays of the building. This bay is essentially cleaned out. This middle one, there's just a little bit of trash on the ground. And then this back one, I also got mostly cleaned out previously. I'm gonna try and tackle these two. And if we can get these two completely cleaned out, swept out for today, that'll be a good goal. And I think if we got that space, that's enough that we could go ahead and put the hay in here if we need to. Whenever you clean out an old building like this, people always ask, you find anything cool? I mean, calendar from 1987? It pretty much sums it up. It's mostly all junk. As soon as I say that, this is probably the most useful thing I've found. It's a sand-filled base, heavy base for like a umbrella or something like that. There are a couple of these old mechanics creepers in here. Pretty light duty. I'm probably heavier than this guy was or something, but it does have a nice little leather-wrapped pillow. Tonight's trash night. This trash can's gonna go out. It'll be empty first thing in the morning. I'm out of time for tonight. All right, it's the next afternoon. I'm back. I'm gonna try and get this wrapped up. The goal for this afternoon is to finish getting these two bays cleaned out. This right here might be the barn find of the century. No. Window screening, brand new roll, $3.69, but it's a lot more than that now. This is great for all kinds of little projects. One of the few things I've found in here that was worth keeping. All right, well that's a wrap for this bay. This one's completely cleaned out and swept out. Just gotta clean up a couple things here and then we'll be done with both of them. A few leaf springs, those ought to be useful for something. Some people told me, rent a dump trailer, rent a dumpster, and that would have been great, but first of all, we haven't spent any money on this. The recycling was free. Everything going out in the trash can's been free. It's cost us nothing, and we haven't really had to dedicate any chunk of time to it. Everything that you've seen, other than spending 10 or 15 minutes on trash night, has been, I've recorded and put in here. It's been maybe an hour or two that day that I took the trailer load of recycling, and then an hour last night and an hour tonight. And we got half the building completely empty, and the other half is getting there as well. So now I'll be on to just keep working our way this way. Most of the stuff from the post forward is stuff I'm keeping. This shelving unit is mine, and most of the stuff all kind of in this section here up to those tires is stuff that I found here that I'm gonna keep. So this bay's ready to go now. We'll be able to get the hay put in there, and then we'll also be able to start storing stuff in these two. Now we're gonna try and get the hay unloaded before it gets dark. I'm actually going to be able to place this one without having to use manual labor. Wow. I'm going to try and get this bay set up as a shop space to work on stuff on the tractor. You can have my tools and mechanics type work. One of the things that we need to really make this building more functional is light. As you may have noticed in some of the previous clips, the lighting was pretty poor. All I've been using was this battery-powered work light that was providing all the light. These buildings are wired. There is a wire running from the house back to the building here. I had never gotten around to really testing it. I tested the continuity of the wire, confirmed that there was continuity coming back here. Then I re-hooked it up to the panel in this building and the panel in the house. I just tested the voltmeter and confirmed we have power here. So let's turn on the lights and see if the lights work. Let there be light. I was in Costco the other day and we saw these lights, and I had seen them online before, and I thought they'd be perfect for in here. Essentially what they are is this 3-panel LED. You can adjust the panels, and they screw into any light bulb. It's just a regular light bulb socket. Change this bulb out. Really pretty trivial. Just getting it lined up to get it screwed in there. It actually looks like this has an on-off switch on it as well. And see how much light that adds to the room. I'm gonna try and angle this back panel away from me. See if that kind of lights the back end. Yeah, that really helps. That's what's nice about this kind of concept, is that instead of having it pointing down, you can kind of spread them out. So I'm gonna take and tilt them all up, kind of at a little bit of an angle like that. You see the bucket I was standing on? There's no dead underneath. That really spreads out the light in the building. Now I'm just glowing. These things are definitely a keeper. I think they were 20 bucks or 22 bucks, something like that, for a 2-pack. I also have some LED bar lights. I think I picked those up for about 10 bucks a piece too. I'm gonna work on trying to get a couple of those set up as well and see how they compare in terms of how much light they put out. My biggest regret on this project was waiting so long to get the power hooked up back out here and get these lights on. I can't tell you how much I've spent in the dark, half dark, using a work light, trying to dig through all this and get this junk out here, but now I'm at the very end and I'm finally doing it with the lights on, and should have done that from the very beginning, but that's just the way it goes, I guess. This was just a quick stop on our Wednesday night trash night to fill up the can. Pretty much all that's left over here is this scrap metal. There's some wood, which isn't going to go in the trash. Most of it actually looks like it's good, usable lumber for other projects. I mean, another probably 20 minutes and this bay will be cleaned out and swept out, and then we can start using this as well. I think I'm actually going to end up moving these hay bales over here and stacking them in the corner. And I think I'm going to put them in this corner. I'm actually going to spin them from the way I took them. That way they're easier to drive in the door with the tractor and pick right up. So we'll get these bales moved, and then we can get on with getting the shop set up. So the first thing we got to do in order to get this set up for a shop is I'm going to get this shelf out of here. I think it looks to me like the plywood, yeah, the plywood is just set on there. Well, that's pretty easy. Just to show how strong these shelves are. 2x6 is just buckling when I'm trying to pull on it. One of the many reasons why they're coming out. And now to tackle all these bolts. Looks like they're bolted up to that ceiling joist as well. So we'll have to get a ladder and get up there and take them down. But if we can at least get the 2x6 unbolted for the time being. And this is what was holding this all together. Just these like big, almost drywall type anchors. I have a feeling that pretty much all of these bolts along here are going to be the same sort of situation. That demonstrates what I was just talking about. Just pulled on this. This 2x8's got these anchors. They don't do anything. I just pulled all those out by hand. I want to spend the rest of the little bit of time I have left today getting this shelf up on that wall. Let's see if we can get this stood up. I'm gonna have to make a couple repairs to it, and then we'll get it anchored to the wall. We may have to try and get the tractor in here to get this stood up, because I don't think I'm gonna be able to lift this all the way up. Been a couple of days. Where I left off on this, I was trying to get this shelf picked up with the tractor. Problem is this is an 8-foot ceiling. I don't have much height to be able to lift the loader. What I'm gonna try this time is I'm gonna run the chains all the way down and hook them in here at the bottom of this bottom shelf so that as it lifts, it's gonna wanna pull the bottom backwards, which is what we need to have happen. Still pulling back, but let's see once we get up a little bit, if it'll start pulling forward. I'm gonna try and shorten the chain up. It's a lot better, we're already starting to lift. Try not to take out my brand new lights. Back up just a smidge if it comes with me or if it will stand up some. Just trying to stand up. I'm up above the ceiling joist. I'm in between them. Now if I can pull out the bottom. We're close to upright. Think I can push it over? Oh yeah. We're gonna run into the forks though, aren't we? No, I think it's gonna go. First thing I'm gonna do is a few repairs. Try and screw these joints together here on this seam. They've all pulled apart where I'd screwed them together. This one shelf has separated. These screws pulled out. I picked on it and I picked it up wrong with the tractor and it kind of jacked everything up. After that, then we're gonna need to take some tap cons and screw it to the wall. So now we can start getting this shelf filled up. Then all that'll be left to be finished tearing down this old shelf, and then we can start getting our tools in here and get on to our first project. As 2023 comes to a close, I want to take the time to thank each and every one of you who have supported our channel this year by watching our videos, commenting, liking our videos, and subscribing to our channel. I really appreciate all the support, and I've been blown away by how many views we've gotten and new subscribers we've gotten in just the first few months of this channel. It's way more than I ever expected. We've got a lot of exciting projects coming up next year, so if you haven't already, you'll definitely want to subscribe so you don't miss out. Thanks for watching, I really appreciate it. I hope to see you back here next time, and I hope that you have a great new year ahead.